All right, let's answer the questions that everyone's been asking. Yes, I finally got to try out the FLUXJET Kayak. And yes, I got to ride it at ICAST. Ride it, I say ride it, it's drive it, ride it, sit on it. I was on it for ICAST for about 3 minutes on a pond. So whatever I can give you in my takeaway from 3 minutes being on it, I'll address. And then we'll talk about a couple other kayaks and some other kayak stuff. Since my channel has turned into a kayak channel, and it wasn't necessarily something I ever intended, but now that I'm into kayaks, I want to try like all the kayaks, every kayak. I want every motor there is, everything I can try out for kayaks, except for some of the bigger ones. I may even turn down like a few of the bigger ones because I don't think I would use them very much because they're getting very big and more geared towards bigger water and stuff. But anyhow, small water kayaks, the FLUXJET, jet engine, electric jet propulsion. Very interesting, very neat. You can see as like I got a few clips. I don't have a lot of video of it, but you can really take off pretty fast. I think they had a 48-volt battery, if I'm not mistaken, in there, and that thing will scoot around. As far as a nimble, fun, lightweight kayak, it is awesome. It's got 2-foot controllers to steer it, and just turns the jet motor in the back. It's got a little knob down here to turn it up and down. It's a small knob where it's not in the way, and then foot steering built in. So let's just go over the positives, the things right away. It's fun. It's nimble. It shoots across the water. It's responsive, very quick. Goes over grass. The grass can be all the way up, and you can still go right through that stuff, and it doesn't get clogged up. Keeps on going. I can stand up easily in it. Very stable, and the seat's comfortable. It's a light kayak. It's a good throw and go with the motor already built in. You don't have to like add the motor onto it, so that's really neat. It can take whatever battery you want to take, really. But I think the 60 volt may be the highest. I can't remember for sure. But like I have some 24 volts. That's the highest I got. If I had that to put in there, it would get me around, but it wouldn't be the best for it as far as getting the most out of it. So yeah, 3 minutes on it, riding around, watching a couple other people, and I've watched a lot of other videos on it. So what are my negatives or uncertainties? Things I can't tell you for sure. First is like fishability. I don't know what it fishes like. I didn't fish out of it. I was on a pond scooting around just testing out the motor. I do know that the one I was on didn't have a rudder or any kind of rudder system, which you can add that on, because without that, whenever you just let off the propulsion, if you just kill it, you're just going to drift one way. There's no rudder that's going to hold it straight or nothing really holding it. Now, what they told me, you can kind of get used to just barely having a little throttle. You turn it down just a couple percentage, and then you can kind of still steer it. So that's going to come into play. Some people are going to like that. Some people are going to hate that. I can see that being a problem, because if the motor's not running, you can't steer at all. You're just going to, and it's not a really long kayak. So being the shorter and nimbler kayak, you're going to give up some things. I still think, as far as standing up, like a lot of times I move up, paddle up to somewhere, or motor up, and I stand up and fish without some kind of rudder. It's not going to be able to control it straight. They're going to add some more controls to the pedals, where you can like just tap on your pedal and give like a little percentage where you can kind of control your steering and then tap on it to kill it. So that'll be neat. So they're still evolving it as far as the controllers. The throttle for it is on your left side. You got to reach down, basically like my arm straight down from where I'm sitting, and my hand is like right at the knob. That can get a little annoying, holding it down here all day. Yes, it'd be nice to have it a little higher up, or maybe somewhere, where I'm not like kind of all the way pegged out with my shoulder and everything. It's small also because you could stack, a couple on the way. It's not going to get in the way. I imagine that's going to be something you can add later, the throttle, to or make it a little bit easier to control, or a little easier to get to. I wouldn't mind just a handle or something, but everybody has their own opinion. So the designers are going to probably be the smartest ones to figure that out. It doesn't have the reverse has a reverse, but it's very slow. Not a big deal. I don't use reverse much on my other kayaks, unless the pedal drive. The pedal drive is the one that I use the reverse. My motored ones, I barely use the reverse. Also, you can just pop a paddle out and kind of maneuver that. So I think it's a fun kayak. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm still, a lot of people keep asking me, am I going to get one? I don't know. I've even talked to the owners, and they said they'd like to see me using one. But at the same time, they are trying to fulfill their demands to people who've already bought them, and they've paid money a long time ago. So will I end up getting one at some point? Maybe. If you want to order one now, I think you can order one. It might take a little while to get here, but it is cool to see them out, see people in it. Easy to jump in. Anybody can jump in it and ride around on it. You can cut pretty sharp corners. You can go over logs. I've been in a lot of river situations with my motor sticking down the back, and I catch on logs, and it gets kind of sketchy sometimes. So this thing, if you're in a river or anywhere, there's logs down, there's brush. A lot of times, like one of my lakes, there's trees that come out, and I gotta be 30, 40 feet off the bank to get through that area. You could go right through that area and wouldn't have to think about it. Draft's very, very shallow. So also it's a jet propulsion. Like nobody else has that. So that's very rare, very unique, and very interesting. So that's kind of my thoughts on the FLUXJET. I think it's fun, and I think there's probably, for the fishability of it, is going to be needing a few little tweaks to kind of get it just dialed in, to kind of really be comfortable to be able to just go out there and hardcore fish. Yes, you can fish out of it as it is, and it might be ready to some people, but I just, in my opinion, just some little bitty things like just an easier rudder, maybe adding the steering to the rudder, where when you let off the motor, you can still drill, you can still steer. Because sometimes you're floating downstream, you just need a little adjustment. But I do want to see it in a real river and test it out in a real river. And I think it can do some really fun stuff where a lot of other kayaks are going to be getting hung up or stuck, or you won't even be able to give it gas because the propeller's hitting on things. So let's talk about, speaking of propellers, another kayak I got to get on that was propelled by Epropulsion was the Nucanoe U10. Finally got to get on one. I've been wanting to test out the Nucanoe U10 for a while. I tried to buy one here a while back. I was going to buy a couple or buy one to try out, and things didn't work out. I was trying to get a deal on it, and I just really couldn't get a deal I wanted. And they're so expensive right now. Now you might have one. Now for me, it's this is my work. I'm trying not to pay one at full price because I got 4 or 5 other kayaks. It's not going to be my only kayak. I'm going to buy them to kind of use and to test out. And then who knows? I've gotten some kayaks I didn't think I'd keep very long, and then I ended up keeping them for years. So U10 was very comfortable. I like how high the seat is. Very stable, also short and lightweight for a kayak. And that's really all the stuff I tried was just the lightweight stuff. And it had the Epropulsion KLite, which is just about to come out. They should be out really soon. And I've gotten to see it a couple times previously, and then I got to actually test it out in action. And the thing is super quiet. That's the number one thing you notice about this kayak. It's like, man, this thing is quiet. You don't even hear it ripping through. The fishability of it, the way you can has like 2 levels. You can have like a high speed and a low speed sort of. And then in low speed, you can your throttle is still 0 to 100 in low speed, and then you got like a high speed 0 to 100 where you're going, and then you got a super boost. So like there's a boost button where it goes to max like power for running up rapids and stuff. So I was going just under 5 miles an hour on the U10. That's just based off like my little phone GPS, and then very responsive, easy to control, easy throttle. It comes with like a display screen that tells you, easy to read, a throttle handle with a switch for high and low and boost. And then the motor already has a built-in battery. Now that battery is probably not going to last like a tournament day, but they've got it in a way where you can add a 12-volt battery to charge the battery that's built in while you're running. So there's a couple little extra, connections, but I think once you get this thing set up, it's going to be really nice, easy to kind of take off and on, lightweight. I think it's going to be a very popular kayak in the kind of river kayaking, light, smaller kayaking world. Kind of my range. That's what I do, right? I have the Newport 180. I don't have the 3 horsepower. I kind of like that smaller, the little bit smaller one for kind of what I do. I'm dragging it into places. I'm getting in and out. So I think this is going to be really cool. There was a couple inflatable kayaks that were there, and I tried to get on one. It was just like I don't know, there's too many people in the way. What was the other ones? The Epropulsion is also going to come out with a little bit bigger one that goes about 8.5 miles an hour, but that's not going to be out for a while. Newport is going to have a new front motor, and I don't think it's out yet. I saw it in ICAST, and it's going to be pretty high tech. Let's see here. There was some other motors. There's starting to be some motors. I've been waiting on this. I'm like waiting on this motor war with kayak and small boats where people are trying to come out with new things, and why is this guy different than this one? And we're finally getting it. And I think it's going to be here for a while. I think the next several years, because there's already people talking about other motors that are coming out. And there's going to be motors that are legal for like kayak tournaments. Then there's going to be motors that are a little bit bigger for people that don't care about that. They want to run a little faster. So the variety of electric motors are coming in. Right now, they're all still around $1,500 to $4,000, kind of depending on what you want. But it's coming and it's out there. And hopefully, we'll be able to start finding some used ones. So I haven't tried everything. There's a lot of the kayak stuff there that I didn't get to use or didn't test out. And there was, some big, huge 200, well, not 200, probably 150-pound kayaks. And there was even bigger ones than that had a control in the middle with spot lock and everything. There was a paddle board with a motor in the middle with spot lock. I don't think it's come out yet. It's new to the market. What else was out there? There was a lot of stuff that's coming out, but I kind of want to go over the few things that I did test out. I'm really excited about this kind of world, the kayak world. It's like the under 100-pound kayak with a little motor that can shoot you around all over the place. That's the kind of things I want to do. I will be getting the new Old Town. So I talked to Old Town, and I have the PDL Pro right there. I'm going to get the new Pro. So hopefully it ships out pretty soon. And it's, I think, 95 pounds. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it or how I'm going to rig it up, but I think it's going to be it's upgraded to some of the stuff. The seat's going to be a little higher. I've already seen it. It's going to have a lot more room. I think it's going to be a lot more comfortable. So this kayak people, there's a lot of companies out there building some nice kayaks. I even talked to some other companies, and maybe we'll do something in the future. But I'm here to try them all if they fit what I do. Now, if they don't, then they're not good for somebody else. But I still might try them. Sometimes in the wintertime, when you go out in the lakes, you want a big, stable kayak. You don't even want to think about touching the water. So there's a place for everybody in the kayak world, and that kayak world is growing. Thanks for watching.